There is a time in every woman's life that they have to choose between their dignity and dreams. And I chose both. Hi, I'm Swati and this is my Hausla story of breaking silence, of fighting stigma and of empowering women to reclaim their dignity. I went to villages as a science communicator to do some meaningful science education in schools. But real learning happens outside the textbooks. It was in the villages of Dahod, Gujarat, where I first saw the reality that changed my life forever. Girls were dropping out of school not because they didn't want to study, but because they had no access to sanitary pads or sanitary protection. I saw them using leaves, ash, or old rags. They weren't just uncomfortable, they were forced into isolation, made to feel unclean, humiliated. Menstruation wasn't just a biological process, it was a barrier to their education, dignity, and freedom. I knew I couldn't ignore this. I had to do something. I started conversations with women, but they turned away. Men wouldn't even acknowledge the issue. Communities resisted. This was a subject nobody wanted to discuss. Even saying the word menstruation in public was met with silence and shame. The pushback was real. Funding was a big struggle. The first few attempts failed. There were moments when I thought, is this even possible? Then I met a young girl who said, Didi, I stay home for 5 days every month because I have nothing to use. That was my breaking point and my turning point. I couldn't let this continue. Giving up was never an option. If one girl's future was at stake, it meant millions were. My Hausla moment came when I saw women themselves taking charge of the solution. I wasn't going to just distribute pads. I wanted to create a system where women could manufacture their own, breaking both the economic and social chains that held them back. That was how the Sakhi project was born. We started small, one unit, a handful of women, then another and another. It wasn't about hygiene anymore. It was about independence. It was about dignity. The moment I saw the first batch of women producing sanitary pads with their own hands, I knew this was bigger than me. This was the moment. Seeing the first Sakhi unit thrive was overwhelming. It was no longer my dream alone, it was theirs. I'll never forget the day one of the women said, Didi, now my husband asks me for money. That was victory. It was about power shifting into the hands of women who had been ignored for too long. We expanded 1,000+ manufacturing units across India, then beyond. Kashmir, Bhutan, Zimbabwe, Jordan. And then every milestone reminded me we are just getting started. I have been lucky to have my family's support and an incredible team I can count on. But When you are building something that challenges deep rooted taboos, belief alone is not enough. You need the right partners who see the bigger picture. I'm sure there are many more dreamers like me, and I'm happy that Kotak is partnering with such audacious dreamers. The world will always have opinions, but your dreams don't need their approval. Three lessons I want to share. Never be ashamed of your struggles, they are the proof of your strength. Use your voice. Change begins when we stop accepting things as they are. And empower others. The real victory is when you uplift those around you. This is not just my journey. This is a proof that if you have the courage to start, nothing is impossible. Just like my Sakhis, who went from being just a made in India to made in India.